is out. Jackie Robinson slams a triple to left center.
Robinson once said, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." As the most impactful person for African American athletes in the United States of America, Jackie Robinson is an obvious leader through his leader-like attributes. Jackie Robinson debuted as the first African American person to play in the Major League Baseball Association since 1880, as he paved the trail for black athletes to come. His admirable baseball skills led him to win 6 All-Star selections, National League MVP in 1949, MLB Rookie of the Year in 1947, and become a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Not only did his baseball expertise influence people around the world, but also his passion and leadership traits have allowed him to create an opportunity for African American people everywhere in the athletics category. Jackie Robinson, as a significant contributor to baseball and the American Civil Rights Movement, is truly considered a leader. On April 15, 1947, he debuted as the first Major League Baseball player of color to appear in an MLB game since 1880. As much of an accomplishment as this is, Jackie did not accomplish this on his own. As a leader, Robinson understood that one key attribute is to allow the help of others, and with that help, succeed in the long run. With the help of Dodgers manager Leo DeRocher, Mr. Robinson earned himself a starting role as first baseman of the 1947 Brooklyn Dodgers. After receiving complaints from his team, Leo DeRocher stood up for Jackie and allowed history to play through, acting as one of the only reasons why black people are playing in all sport leagues today. This breakthrough moment in baseball and courageous act of support proved to the nation that Robinson was worthy enough to play baseball because of his skill, and it did not matter his race or color. According to the St. James Encyclopedia of Popular Culture, Jackie Robinson is hailed an American hero. So much attention was paid to the color of his skin that it took the public a little while to realize the scope of his talents. When they did, it only increased the animosity of the men who were determined to keep America's national pastime an all-white bastion. But with his dignity and brilliant athleticism, Robinson tore down the walls of bigotry, forever changing the course of American sports. By leading the way in sports in his high school track, basketball, football, and professional baseball career, Jackie Robinson is by far considered the most outstanding trailblazer for black athletics. Born in Cairo, Georgia, and raised in the Deep South, Jackie Robinson was born under his father, Jerry Robinson, who left when the boy was 6 months old. He then moved to Los Angeles, California, where he involved himself in sports to get away from the prejudicial stereotypes he received. After proving himself in that category many years later, he felt that it was time to go back and fix the prejudicial problems that he had faced by standing up in the Civil Rights Movement of America. Being the grandson of an African American slave, Jackie felt that it was his duty to regain the respect his grandfather deserved. Jack then enlisted himself in the U.S. Army, where he received even more negative prejudices. Finally, after serving in the Army and earning a contract on the Dodgers Farm League team, Jackie decided to take matters into his own hands by defending his race. After his accomplishment of allowing people of color to play in the MLB, Jackie kept pushing and insisted that the MLB allowed African American managers, including Frank Robinson, no relation, a right and left fielder in the league early in his career, who became the first black player manager and overall general manager in the MLB while managing the Cleveland Indians. In 1972, 2 years before the first black manager was hired in the MLB, Jackie Robinson collapsed at his house in Connecticut and died 2 hours later. 2,500 people attended his funeral and remembered a great historical icon and leader. Jackie is remembered and will never be forgotten as not only one of the greatest players who ever lived, but as the most influential. As a baseball player and civil rights pioneer, Mr. Robinson influences and leads today, even after his passing.